So just to review, we've gone over our learning intentions. My students are familiar with the success criteria. I do go back and review these each day. And we know what we're working on for today, explaining how volcanoes form, and then the three different types that we're working on with a shield, cinder cone, and strato. So students have already had an opportunity to create some Play-Doh sculptures of these. So I wanted you to see some of the different examples that have been done. So this was one from one of our kiddos. So looking at what the student did, I would take in how creative, the student is a gal, how creative it is. I would also take in all the details of everything labeled. And what is something that she did that maybe you didn't do with yours? So when we go back today and we do part 2, what is that next step to push your thinking so that you can create something with your volcano that nobody else would think of? This example, she included all the different layers, which we just reviewed and covered. Everything labeled. She used several different colors, but then on the very top, can you read what that says on top there? Can you see what that says? Cloud of smoke. So how she was able to include a smoke cloud in her volcano, that was something really unique. I like that level of detail. And here was another one. This student was so efficient, she started doing one of the cinder cone. And then she came up to me, she's like, I'm done. I thought, oh, well, let's look at another type of volcano. So then she started to do the composite. And then I was having her doing some compare and contrast between the two. I liked what this student did because what did she do that was different than a lot of people's? Yes?
She cut it in half.
Yeah, we call it a cross section when you cut something in half. And so just the detail, you could see the conduit and the vents here and the crater, and just, that was a really unique way of putting that together too. And then a couple of the other ones here. And then from this morning, I took a few more. So we'll just review, we touched on this. It's nice to have some wonderful resources for you as students to be able to look at and use. This is the big picture of where we are going. So right now, we are learning this aspect of our state science standard. How do the processes of like volcanic activity help shape our Earth? Moving from there, we'll get into the rock cycle. We'll get more into the weathering process and earthquakes and tectonic plates. So this is just one part of a much larger scale. On the front board, I have the students begin to draw and what they know and some inquiry questions regarding the topic of volcanoes. So they have already done that already. I have some other models of shield, cinder cone, and stratocomposite volcanoes for them. And then I just did a rough copy up here as they were doing their model to be able to copy some of these words down. There are 2 more examples, or 2 or 3 more here that were done today. After we finish, we'll do a little gallery walk around, and the students can compare theirs with others. And then I have the students explain the process of why and how a volcano erupts. And that was the other part of our formative assessment and what we were doing here today.